Reading with your kids.
Hola, ni hao, konnichiwa, assalamu alaikum, shalom, mahaba, bonjour, ciao, namaste, jumbo, bienvenidos. Hey, my name is Jedley, and this is Reading with Your Kids. We're coming to you with love from the historical neighborhood of Reedville, tucked into the southwest corner of beautiful Boston, Massachusetts. Our mission here is all about connection, connecting kids with books, families with each other, and communities through the power of story. Every week, we're joined by incredible authors and creators whose work lights up kids' lives. You can support this mission by spreading the word. Share the show with your friends, give us a shout out at school, and let people know that they can hear us on the WREB AM/FM 24/7 radio network, and they can find us on the iHeartRadio app, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Good Pods, CastBox, Audible, Player FM, wherever you find your favorite shows, you can find Reading with Your Kids. We've got a heartwarming show for you today, so let's get started. First up, Sarah Hwang is here to celebrate Gertrude Gish on a Dish on a Fish. It is a beautiful new picture book based on a illustration created by Dr. Seuss. And later in the show, Sylvia Chen will be here to celebrate her picture book. It's called Tricky Chopsticks. Before we invite our guest into the studio, I would love to invite you to visit a very special website. It's clownswithoutborders.org. Clownswithoutborders.org. This is a group that I absolutely adore. I am part of Clowns Without Borders, and I had the honor of being part of the 2023 tour of El Salvador. I had so much fun joining with artists from all over the world to bring a smile to people who really needed it and really appreciated it too. And we would love for you to join us as a monthly Joy Maker. The Joy Makers, they're a family of people just like you who love to laugh and make other people feel good. So please take a moment and visit clownswithoutborders.org and consider joining me as a Joy Maker.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
855-325-1823. 855-325-1823. That's 855-325-1823.
My friends, if you have ever thought about owning a business that's fun, rewarding, and makes a valuable contribution to kids' education, well, Brooklyn Robot Foundry is calling your name. I recently met Jenny Young. She's the founder of Brooklyn Robot Foundry. And let me tell you, she is incredible. Her passion for getting kids excited about STEAM, that's STEM plus art, it's contagious. I'm telling you. This isn't your average kids program. Brooklyn Robot Foundry is all about hands-on, screen-free STEAM fun. These kids get to build a different robot each class and take it home with them afterwards. Kids love it. Parents are raving about it. And now you can own a franchise and bring this incredible experience to families in your community. Now, this isn't your typical franchise. Brooklyn Robot Foundry is a mobile, flexible business with a deep curriculum that's making a real impact in schools and communities around the country. Franchise owners get a proven curriculum, full training, and support from a passionate team. So what are you waiting for? Please visit bit.ly/RobotJed. That's bit.ly/RobotJed. And let them know you heard about it on Reading with Your Kids. Joining us right now from the Garden State of New Jersey, our guest is here today to celebrate her brand new picture book. It's called Gertrude Gish on a Dish on a Fish. Please welcome to the show, Sarah Hwang. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Hi, Jed. Thanks for having me. I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm fantastic. In a way, you collaborated with Dr. Seuss in creating this book.
Yes. I mean, it is surreal, but in a way, yeah, it is like a collaboration.
So tell us about how this book came about.
Let's see, where to start. Well, I first heard about this project from my agent, when I got a call like a few years back, and, it was very general when she told me about it. She said, Dr. Seuss Enterprise, have these archive sketches that they want you to look at and, write a new Dr. Seuss book. And I was like, what? Dr. Seuss? Yeah, of course. Like I'm such a huge fan of his work. And, I was just so excited to get started on it. And yeah, so it started from there. And then we had the meeting with the team. And I received the sketches, and as I was looking through the sketches, we saw Gertrude, and here we are with the book.
Awesome. I've mentioned in the past, I grew up with a severe speech impediment, and it rears its ugly head every now and then. If I'm tired or if there's certain words, lots of F and S words mess me up. And my kids, they were diabolical when they were little kids. They would see that I was tired. Maybe I drove home from a show in New Jersey and came home, and as soon as I walked through the door, they would say, you have to read to us. And they would go get 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 red fish, blue fish, and all the F's. And then another one was fox on feet, feet on, I don't know. But yeah. I love it, but it would drive me crazy because I'd be there going,
Yeah, it's a struggle with all the rhymes. Yes, I completely understand you.
So was it intimidating at all, being writing in his style?
So I think I definitely felt some pressure, and I was nervous taking on the project. And I guess for this book, we had the flexibility in terms of how we wanted to work, just in terms of how we wanted to write or like draw the pictures and all of that. Since I did both the writing and illustration for this book. But since I chose Gertrude Gish sketch, and I don't know if you've got a chance to see the original sketch. But it is on the back of the book, for those who later on look at the book. It's on the back. But when I saw the sketch, it came with the name. Like Dr. Seuss named it Gertrude Gish on Dish on Fish. And I was like, this is so fun. And because the title rhymes, I feel like I should make the story rhyme. So that's kind of how this is my first time rhyming a book too. So yeah, I was nervous, honestly. But we managed to do it somehow. And but I guess going back to the question, yes, I was definitely nervous and I felt pressured, but yeah, I hope that my readers could enjoy what we're seeing now.
I'm sure that's so neat. Now, you mentioned that this is your first rhyming book. How easy or difficult was it for you to write in meter? Because there are lots of people who write rhyming books and they think, oh, the last word rhymes in each sentence. But to truly create a rhyming book, especially in the Dr. Seuss style, you have to have that meter.
Right. So yeah, I think I had a lot. So I definitely would say the writing part took me longer than the illustration part because this wasn't a style I was used to. Mm-hmm. And so it was tricky. It was definitely tricky. and like I said, because I wasn't used to writing in rhymes, but it was something that I kind of had to do a lot of research on and read a lot of Dr. Seuss books on. And
Has it occurred to you, has it sunk in that here you are, you're keeping that tradition, the Dr. Seuss tradition, alive, a tradition that has entertained kids for decades?
yeah, I mean, I still can't believe that I'm a part of this project, honestly. Like, I don't think it's like fully sink in, since the book just came out on Tuesday, and oh my gosh, like I'm like losing count, like track of what day it is even today. Like, I feel like it's just been really crazy. So like I haven't really had time to really like let everything sink in and process, but yeah, like I think it's just, as I was working on the project, I was like, wow, like my younger self would have never believed that I would be working on a Dr. Seuss book in the future. Since like I used to like read them all the time as a kid, like, and like, because I was like an immigrant child, like I didn't, like English wasn't my first language. And I learned a lot of English from picture books, and like including Dr. Seuss books. Like I learned some of my vocabs from him, and I guess like to carry on that tradition, like through this book too, and kind of hoping like even kids like me, like that would see this book would be able to, you know, kind of like resonate with it and also learn English through it too. I think it's mind blowing. Yeah. So I still can't believe it.
Yeah. What a great idea, learning English through picture books. It makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me, did you always aspire to be a children's author back when you were, you know, reading those Dr. Seuss books? Did you think one day I'm going to be a children's author?
I think back then I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like I definitely enjoyed art, like as a kid and all my life. And growing up, I didn't know I would be a children's author. I thought I definitely knew I would do something to do with children because I love kids. Even as a kid, I loved babies, like, you know. So yeah, like I knew that. And then originally, like in high school, I was studying to be a dentist, like a pediatric dentist. So I was taking all these like science and math courses, all these APs, and then realized like, you know what? Like I actually want to do something I'm more passionate about and have it channel in that way. And as I was preparing my portfolio to go to art school, I think I just kind of like refound that passion and that kind of like, what do I say? Like, I guess that joy in just kind of like the storytelling aspect and the drawing aspect and all of that. And I was like, you know what? Like, picture books played a huge role in my life growing up. And this is something that I want to do. And so I think it was like more in high school that I really realized that this is the career path that I wanted to go on. And yeah.
Now, did you get any, we hear this from a lot of people who at a young age announce to the world that I want to create art, I want to do music, in my case, I want to go and perform magic. Did you get any parents or loved ones saying, okay, Sarah, but you have to have a backup plan. You have to be realistic. You know, I don't know, picture book, is that really a job?
I mean, I think thankfully for me, my parents were always super supportive of my dreams. And my mom also was originally in an art field. She was an interior designer and she did mall display and all of that back in Korea. So I think she was like, you know, like for both of my parents, they were like, we definitely see talent in you and we believe in you. And I think that's like one of the reasons I was able to get this far, like be able to continue what I'm doing is because like my family and my friends, they were always supportive of me and they really believed in me. and that was just a lot of strength for me.
That's great. I think that's super important. Have you begun practicing for when you do a school visit to read Gertrude Gish on a dish on a fish? I'm thinking that's not going to be real easy.
Oh yeah, it's tricky. I have to take it slow.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially with the title. I feel like it's like a tongue twister.
It certainly is.
Yeah, when people are like, so what was the book called? I'm like, it's Gertrude Gish on a dish on a fish. Like, I have to slowly say it too.
Yeah, yeah. Your other books, you said that you illustrate in a different style than Dr. Seuss. Can you talk a little bit about your the style that you're usually working in?
Oh yeah, sure. So my debut book is called Toasty, and Toasty is about a piece of toast that wanted to be a dog. And for the style I went with for Toasty, I used acrylic and mixed medium, and digital collaging. But it was like mainly it was pretty much like 90. I'm gonna say like 95% traditional. And so it was like more like textured, like heavy brush strokes and, like bold colors is something that comes through in, I think, all of my work. It's consistent in all of my work, but it was just the way I approached it was a little different in the medium I use. For Gertrude Gish, I did traditional inking, but I used digital coloring. So I would say it was like 50-50.
Okay.
Digital and traditional.
Yeah. I guess these days, it's really important for an artist, especially an artist who's creating children's books, to be versatile and to be aware of being able to create art in very different styles and mediums and using different tools.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think it's important. And I also do think as artists, we're always, or at least for myself, like I'm always looking to challenge myself, to expand myself, in different ways. And so like, yeah, like that's why like I feel like for this book, I purposely wanted to challenge myself to do something different, like writing in rhymes or, working in kind of like a different medium than how I normally would work. And so I do think just being able to explore different mediums also keeps the fun alive in new projects. So yeah.
Neat. Now that you've created Gertrude Gish on a dish on a fish, and you created that first rhyming picture book, are you looking to create more rhyming picture books?
We'll see. I mean, I did have fun writing this book. It just took me some time to like, complete it and really like, tie it together neatly. But yeah, like if the opportunity comes and, or if a project calls for that kind of style, then I would definitely be open to working in that.
Yeah. Did you have access to any kids that you could bounce the rhymes off of to see, what the kids' reactions to them?
No, I wish. Like, I think that's one of the things I like miss about like working as a freelancer. Like, you don't really like interact with people as much. But I used to teach long time ago, and I think that was like one of the nice parts about teaching was that you could like talk to the students and like kind of get like a feedback on like, what they think of your character or like just some of these words. But yeah, so unfortunately for this book, I did not, because I don't do teaching anymore, but I did not have the opportunity to talk to a child and see.
Well, I'm sure you're going to have lots of opportunities to read the book and hear kids' reactions to it and parents' reaction to it. You mentioned your first book, Toasty, a piece of toast that wanted to be a dog.
Yes.
Where in the world did that idea come from?
I feel like everyone asks me that question. They were like, where did this idea pop up from? And I think, it was in college. I had an assignment where it was, for advanced picture book class. And we had to come up with like some story ideas. And I normally doodle, like just on the regular. And I remember like I was just like eating breakfast one day, and I think like subconsciously the project was still in the back of my head, you know? And as I was also making this piece of toast and I was like about to eat it, I saw the bread and was like, you know, this reminds me of how I used to draw dogs as a kid. Cause it would like, it kind of had that ear, and then like, you know, it kind of like rounded out at the end, but like Toasty is just like that square form with the ear. So I was like, oh, it's kind of like a dog, like a toast dog. And then I did like a little doodle, and then right then, like, it was so quick. Like the first manuscript, I wrote it in 30 minutes because the idea just, it was like boom, like an inspiration just struck me at that moment. And I wrote the first manuscript in 30 minutes. And the book now actually hasn't changed too much from the original manuscript. So yeah, like, but that's kind of where the idea came from.
Oh, that's incredible. You know, Jane Yolen, who's written over 400 children's books and is beloved, she was telling me you can find ideas anywhere. You're walking down the street and there's ideas for picture books all around you. And I guess you've proven it to us because you found inspiration for your first book in a piece of toast.
Oh yeah, you can find inspiration anywhere.
So, are there going to be more books from the Seuss folks?
We'll have to see. I hope so. But yeah, I mean, for now, we're just very focused on Gertrude.
Excellent. And what can you give us an idea of what you're working on right now?
Well, right now I'm working on some new manuscripts, and I have a second book in the works for my bunny book.
Uh-huh.
I have another author illustrated book called Bunny Hop, and so right now I'm working on the second one of that. Oh, I don't know if I was allowed to share that actually, but
No one's gonna. Just you.
Yeah.
Just me and you.
But yeah, it is. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. So that's something I'm working on.
Have you had a chance to illustrate another author's book, and is that something you're looking forward to doing?
Yes, I have done illustration for another author's book before. Well, one's a board book and then another picture book, and that picture book is coming out next month actually. But yeah, like I think there's fun in both. Writing my own story and making the illustration, and as well as illustrating other writings as well. Yeah.
Hey, you know, you were sharing with me that your parents were really supportive of you growing up and of your art. If there's a parent listening who has a kid who is very creative and looking to perhaps become an illustrator in their life, how can a parent best support that child?
For a parent who has a child that wants to be an illustrator or like an author in the future. Well, I think, well, for me, I was definitely like a words of affirmation type of person. So definitely like the words of affirmation. I think it's really important. I mean, for all children, right? Like even when I used to teach, like kids, they thrive on like positivity and positive words. So I think just continuously like encouraging your kid and also showing them in any way you can that you really believe in them, and just like trust them, and just kind of like giving them the confidence to just continue to do what they love. So yeah, like I think as a parent, I think that's kind of what I'm just thinking, like if I have a kid and then that's what I would do, you know?
Yep. I think that's great advice. We should tell everybody where they can go to find out more about Gertrude Gish on a Dish on a Fish, find out more about you, and then find out more about that book that we didn't talk about at all.
Yes. Well, we could find me and my books on my site, sarah-hwang.com, or on the Penguin website, you could find my books. Or Instagram, it's Sarah_S_Hwang. So yeah, like you can find me just wherever on social.
Awesome. We've had a great time speaking to the author and illustrator of Gertrude Gish, On a Dish on a Fish. Our guest has been Sarah Hwang. Sarah, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Are you looking for a creative way to bond with your kids? Let me tell you all about Drawing with Your Kids, the ultimate destination for artistic adventures. Join us as we dive into the wonderful world of children's books with renowned illustrators guiding you step by step. From beloved characters to whimsical scenes, unleash your imagination and create cherished memories together. Whether you're a seasoned artist or just picking up a pencil, there's something for everyone at Drawing with Your Kids. Please visit our website, readingwithyourkids.com, and click on the Drawing with Your Kids link at the top of the page and let the creativity flow. Drawing with Your Kids, where every stroke brings stories to life.
Have you outgrown your health insurance plan or just not happy with what you're paying for? The number one reason we all change our health insurance is price. Are you paying too much for your health insurance? Would you like to have better coverage at a better rate or at little or no cost to you? Your life needs are always changing, but have you done anything to improve your health insurance for you and your family? Health insurance laws and coverage are always changing and getting better. It's impossible to do all the research yourself, but now it's all done for you for free. So regardless of your age or medical condition, take a few minutes right now and find out if you can save money or even qualify for zero-cost health insurance in your state. Call now.
Paid for by cheaper health insurance. 800-932-1656. 800-932-1656. 800-932-1656. That's 800-932-1656.
Hey, my friends, would you like to bring a little warmth and magic into your home? Let me introduce you to Welsh Mountain Candles, hand-poured on a working Amish farm in Lancaster County. These all-natural, toxin-free candles are made from palm wax with a stunning crystallized glow, rich coconut apricot wax for a creamy finish, and essential oils for a pure, refreshing scent. Whether you're winding down, setting the mood, or just love a great candle, Welsh Mountain Candles are crafted with care and made to be shared. Visit welshmountaincandles.com. Use the promo code JED10 for 10% off your order today. Light up your home with Welsh Mountain Candles, where every candle tells a story. Join us right now from the beautiful state of New Jersey. Our guest is here today to celebrate her beautiful picture book. It's called Tricky Chopsticks. Please welcome to the show, Sylvia Chen. Hey, Sylvia, how are you?
Hi, good. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm really excited to be here chatting with you.
Sylvia and I ran into each other at the recent Hudson Children's Book Festival. We had what a wonderful event that was.
Oh, it was amazing. I was just blown away about, well, first of all, the organization was top notch. It just blew me away because they had every single detail taken care of for everyone who was participating, from all the authors and illustrators who were joining in and from all the attendees. And I loved how the kids were able to have a book to choose of their own to take away from the festival if they attended. So yeah, it was absolutely amazing. And I was really happy to meet you there too.
It really was. I was in the community room, and I had heard some of the people in the community room were complaining that it wasn't organized. And I'm sitting back and go, my friends, you have no idea. This was like a well-oiled machine. The kids, the families had lots of time to interact with the authors, lots of time to interact with us in the community room. It was just, I just love it. And I'm hoping to be part of it again next year.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I hope so as well, that I can return. So,
yeah. So let's talk about Tricky Chopsticks.
Yeah, Tricky Chopsticks is my debut picture book. It came out in March 2024, so not too long ago, and it's about a girl named Jenny Chow who has the hardest time getting the hang of chopsticks. So her dumplings keep on going flying everywhere whenever she tries to use them, and her whole family, of course, knows how to use their chopsticks really, really well, including her little sister, and all she wants is to be able to master them in time for her family's annual Chopsticks challenge, which is coming up. And so she is very clever though. And so she figures out a way, to do it, and to also learn how to master them in her own style as well. So, yeah.
Now, what is happening in the Chopstick Challenge?
What is happening in the Chopsticks Challenge? So, well, first of all, I also need to say a huge thank you to the illustrator Fanny Leem, because she did an amazing job with all the expressions and scenes. And so, for instance, for the Chopsticks Challenge, the one that that Jenny is cringing about in the story is from last year, where they had oodles of noodles, dozens of dumplings, and even burgers and fries. And so in these challenges, they're just, however it's set up, they're just trying to do their best to win the challenge and claim, their name as the Chopsticks master for that contest. So, and each year it's different. So this year, it's at the end of the book, so I probably shouldn't say, but when I do my events, whether it's at a book festival or at a bookstore, a local bookstore, I like to try to bring Chopsticks challenges with me if there's room to do that, and be able to set up many different challenges for kids. And even during my school visits, I have a fun component of my school program with a Chopsticks challenge to do with the students. So yeah, so it really could be anything, but those are some of the examples from the story in the book.
Well, as I was telling Sylvia before we began recording, our family has hosted international kids in our home, many of them from China and also from Japan. And I can relate to Jenny, because even though I've had lots of great tutors, I have not mastered chopsticks. I can deal with them for a little bit, maybe 5 minutes into the meal, but then I have to put them down, and it's because I'm too hungry and I want to eat.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say, I actually have a lot of adults who come up to me saying that they either haven't been able to get the hang of chopsticks themselves, or they're still working through it, and I always just say it's never too late, of course. And what really matters is if you can get the food to your mouth, then that's all that matters, no matter how you're gripping your chopsticks. But yeah, sometimes you're just too hungry. You just need to get the food down.
Now, I'm imagining this would be a great book for kids to be able to see themselves. We love celebrating the fact that books can be mirrors, windows, and sliding glass doors. Was that part of your motivation to write this book, to kind of give kids who were maybe born in the United States and haven't mastered chopsticks like the rest of their family, a chance to see themselves and inspire them?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. So, it's very interesting because I actually, when I was, before I got the idea for the story, I was trying to think about what else could I write next, that would have some sort of STEAM element, because I like to incorporate science or math or some sort of clever thinking into my writing, and also incorporate, some of my cultural heritage. And so with the two of those in the back of my mind, all of a sudden the title, Tricky Chopsticks, popped into my mind, and I thought, oh my goodness, that would actually work really well for trying to figure out a story that would incorporate both of those elements. But actually, I never really set out, personally, it may happen to be the case because I am who I am, but I never really set out specifically to, write a story to give people a window in their souls. Although when I go to any of my events, a lot of times, parents come up to me, especially like grown women, grown men, anyone, they come up to me saying, thank you for writing a book, because when we were growing up, we didn't see ourselves in books as much as now, where Tricky Chopsticks and other picture books like this are possible. And so even when I was writing the story, I didn't really have that as main mission per se. And actually, when I was writing it, I was trying to figure out how to write it so that it would feel accessible to anyone who's reading it, whether they are of Asian heritage or if they're not. I just thought, well, anyone in the world can use chopsticks. And so I really wanted to make sure that people wouldn't, pick up the book. Maybe they would be like, oh, I see myself in this book, which is awesome. But perhaps they could also see themselves as a person trying to use chopsticks or remembering how they struggled learning how to use chopsticks in the past. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it was a book that felt open and relatable to everyone, really.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, have you always aspired to be a children's author?
I have not. So actually, this is really interesting looking back. When I was younger, especially in my all elementary, middle, and high school, I just always really focused on science and math as my favorite subjects, and not so much writing, even though, of course, I did writing because you have your assignments and whatnot. And I even entered, bookmaking competitions and enjoyed that part of it. But I never really thought, oh, maybe I'll become a children's book author later. So fast forward through my various jobs, we were living in Tokyo at the time, and my older son, who was about 5 years old, he's now 15, so it's been a really long time. He started wanting to do, simple math. So we would be on the train going back and forth to his school, and I would be showing him, 1 + 1 = 2, like very, very simple math. And I thought, my goodness, it would be really fun if I can find a story or, picture book, something where there's a storyline which incorporates math in it, just to make it even more fun for him in a different way. But I couldn't find something. It might have been because we were living in Tokyo at the time, so I was trying to look for English, written books. But of course, there are a lot more picture books now that incorporate science and math, which is awesome. But I really couldn't find anything except for, math worksheets that are very straightforward and whatnot. So I decided that I would try to write. And once I started writing and trying to create, a fun way of presenting the information and story and characters, I just got really hooked at that point. And so that's when I realized, oh my goodness, this is what I want to pursue next for what I do for work.
That's wonderful. I love how life, we set ourselves on one path and we're going down, we're moving, and then all of a sudden something catches our eye. Yeah. And we decide, I want to go on this trail over here.
Right. Yeah, it feels like happenstance, but if I think back to it, a lot of the things that, from what I loved doing when I grew up, and also my various jobs, I think all of those fit into where I am right now and how I write and, my way of thinking and things. So yeah, it's really interesting taking a look back and figuring out how everything ties together to where you are now.
So are you still thinking of yourself as somebody who's going to focus on writing STEM-related books?
Yeah, I think the way that my stories tend to go is they're not specifically only about the STEAM element. I like to incorporate them in a sort of subtle way. So even in Tricky Chopsticks, there's an element of engineering in it where she figures out how to make her own chopsticks tongs. But it sneaks up on her. It's not like she's thinking, oh, I am going to create a device. It's just something where she's trying to solve her own personal problem. She's having the worst time getting the hang of chopsticks. And so all of a sudden an idea pops into her mind and she's able to integrate it in. So oftentimes, like a lot of the things that I do in even let's say making costumes for my kids for Halloween, it involves a lot of math, right? To be able to measure and calculate how you're going to, fit everything together and create it. But you're not necessarily thinking, I am going to use math right now. So I like to write stories where it naturally incorporates it and it's just, integrated in that way.
Yeah. My future son-in-law is an engineer, and I know that when we would have the various students living with us, they were able to engineer kind of like a training wheels for chopsticks almost. Do you know about them? And if there's somebody out there, can you teach us how we can kind of create that so we can get that starting, help starting to use chopsticks?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are actually, if you think about it, there are so many different ways that you could do it. And I think the fastest, easiest way to explain would be, to put the two wider ends of the chopsticks, like end to end together, on top of a napkin. So I've seen that. And then you roll the napkin around them. And then once the napkin's rolled, then you just fold them. And then it has a natural hinge at the very end for that. And then in the book, Jenny actually ends up using her own fashioned hinge. It's not with the napkin, but instead it's with an origami lucky star that she already had created, just because she loves doing origami. And then she figured out how to figured out a way how to use that to build a hinge for the chopsticks. So there are many different ways to do it, or you could just find chopsticks that already have it, set up. Sometimes, like I have those at the events for the little kids who are, really, really new at using chopsticks, just so they can get the feel of it.
Yeah. You mentioned to me before we started recording that you grew up in Queens, in New York City, and you just told us you lived in Tokyo for a decade. What's it like traveling and living in different countries?
Oh, yeah. Well, so, I was in Queens for, I was born there. I went through all my schooling there, and then went to the city for college. And then, what I did, I actually hadn't left the U.S. yet, until my first job, where I did software and consulting. And that was amazing because for different projects, I traveled to India and to France. And then, more recently, our family relocated to Tokyo. We were there for 5 years. And it was just an amazing experience. So I think what was great out of it was just, all the memories and all the different things that you, are exposed to or that you experience by living there on a longer term versus like visiting really quickly. I just feel like, I always look back fondly to living in the various countries, and I always look forward to hopefully having the chance to go back and visit.
Yeah.
So,
one of the reasons I asked is there are so many people here in the States that don't travel, don't have a passport, don't travel overseas. And on one hand, it makes a lot of sense because the United States is so big and so diverse that you can spend your whole life just traveling around the States and not see everything. But at the same time, I really think there's a great benefit to traveling to different cultures, even if you don't speak the language, and really getting embedded in the culture, in the community. My beautiful wife and I just we're on an escorted tour of Scotland and Ireland, and we saw an awful lot. But the only people we met were the bus driver and the other people on the bus with us. It wasn't like we usually travel when we go to some place by ourselves and just explore the city.
Yeah. I mean, I think luckily I've had the opportunities to be able to travel. So I think it also depends on where people are at, whether they're able to travel even. But I mean, even now, there's so many shows that you can, put on to get a glimpse or even, have that sort of experience for another country, from your own home, right? So, and then I think food is a great entryway to other countries and cultures as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on what, someone is open to doing or what they're interested in seeing or experiencing or, checking out, whether they're at home or, if they're able to go abroad.
Yeah. Tell me, are you able to tell me what you're working on now? I know a lot of authors are like, I don't want to talk about it yet, but
yeah, well, I do want to share that my next book is coming out in December of 2025. The release date is December 2nd, and it's called Sparkles for Sunny. It's a Lunar New Year story, and it's about a young girl named Sunny. She's the youngest of 3 daughters. And she is just so tired of wearing hand-me-downs because she just, her older sister has the newest outfit and then it hands it down to her middle sister and then she gets the oldest version of that same outfit. And so she is just really tired of it, including for the chi pao that she wears for Lunar New Year. And so basically she's trying to figure out how does she make this outfit her own, without breaking important traditions or making her parents mad. So that one is coming out in December on the 2nd, and it's illustrated by Tai Mai Feng, and it's just a delight. I'm really excited that it's coming out, and I'll start doing some more promotion about it with special swag for people who decide to pre-order from my local bookstore. So yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, it must be exciting. Knowing that your books are making a difference in the lives of so many kids and families.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's always, I never really, I guess when you're writing your story, you get immersed in the stories, but you're right. It's really nice to hear or see people get excited. I was doing a school visit just a couple months ago, and one of the teachers came up to me and she said, "Oh, your book or the picture book is the first time that I saw myself in the book." So she's, I think she's a 4th or 5th grade teacher. And she said from the elements of going, the family going to dim sum or even making the origami lucky stars, like she remembered that from when she was younger and she used to make those too. And so it's always very heartwarming when people come up and share that, because then I'm able to, I feel like I'm able to connect with them in an even deeper way that way. And it's just really great hearing that. So yeah, I agree.
One of the things we love to talk with authors about is the kind of conversations families can have as they're reading the author's books. But I think that there's a lot that you can read to talk about when you're reading Tricky Chopsticks. But I know I would, if my kids were still 5 and 6 years old and we were cuddled up reading Tricky Chopsticks, the first thing we do after we finish was go out, break out a pair of chopsticks and start having fun with them.
Yeah, that's right. I've heard, how even after, this World Read Aloud Day that was in February, and one of the teachers told me, so they booked one of the times with me, and she said after they decided as a class she already had it set up in the plan for the day, but they set up their own chopsticks challenges. So the students were having a fun time with it, and I think they got to choose how they're doing it or, figure out the parameters and everything. So I think it's a great way to extend it, because you're bringing the story alive in your own home or in your own space. So yeah, I'd be really curious to see what other people have done, of course. But yeah, there's so many ways that you could do the chopsticks challenges. Like at school visits, I bring all different sizes of pom-poms, because they're, soft and easy to use for all varied skill sets. And I challenge groups of kids to do that. So you could do it that way, or you could do it with actual food or even different objects. So yeah, it's really great.
Awesome. We should tell everybody where they can go to find out more about Tricky Chopsticks and find out more about you.
Yeah, so they can go to my author website. It's Sylvia, Sylvia, the letter I, Chen, at SylviaIChen.com, or the same for the handle for social media. So I'm on pretty much all the main social medias that are out there. So my handle is at SylviaIChen.
Wonderful. Well, we had a wonderful time speaking to the author of Tricky Chopsticks. Our guest has been Sylvia Chen, and we're going to try to catch you in Boston.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Hey there, sleepyhead. The sun is shining bright. Time to stretch your arms. Let's welcome the light. Clouds are drifting away. Just look at that blue. Wake up, there's fun waiting for you. We've got adventures planned, so many games to play. Grab your shoes, my friend, let's dance through the day. Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. We'll laugh and we'll sing in a joyful way. Let's paint the sky with colors so bright. With smiles all around, we'll shine like the light. Breakfast on the table, pancakes stacked high, maple syrup flowing, oh my, oh my. With every bite we perfect day, it's finally here. Grab your friends and family, let's gather around, with hugs and giggles spreading love all around. Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. We'll laugh and we'll sing in a joyful way. Let's paint the sky with colors so bright, with smiles all around, we'll shine like the light. Jumping in the garden, feeling the breeze, playing with the flowers, dancing with the bees. Every moment's magic, every laugh is free. Life's a sweet adventure, come and play with me. We'll fly our kites up, touch the sky so blue, chasing after dreams, just me and you. From sunrise till sunset, let's make it last, creating lovely memories, oh so fast. So grab your favorite toy, let's run and play. Together we'll make this an awesome day. Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. We'll laugh and we'll sing in a joyful way. Let's paint the sky with colors so bright, with smiles all around, we'll shine like the light. So wake up, sunshine, let your spirit soar. With every single moment, we'll keep wanting more. The world is waiting for us to discover. So let's make today the best with one another.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Reading with Your Kids, where real magic happens every time a child opens a book with somebody they love. Speaking of real magic, Wake Up Sunshine, that song you just heard, is a little indication of some real magic that is coming your way. So be sure you stay tuned. If you had a good time with us today, please share this episode with your friends and leave a 5-star review. It helps us reach more magical families like yours. And hey, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Reading with Your Kids. I want to give a big shout out and big thanks to our guests. They made this show wonderful. First, Sarah Hwang. Please be sure to check out Gertrude Gish, On a Dish, on a Fish. Boy, if my kids were 5 and 7 years old right now, or 5 and 3 years old, they would have me reading Gertrude Gish, On a Dish, on a Fish every night, especially those nights where I came home after a long drive, and they would just sit there and giggle as I stuttered and stumbled through the paragraphs. We also want to thank Sylvia Chen. Be sure to check out Tricky Chopsticks. This is such a fun show. I want to thank my amazing team, Fatima Khan, Chris Doherty, Rory Grady, Elle Glassman, Dante Greco. I want to thank my beautiful wife for all the support she gives me. Most of all, big thanks and a big hug to you. Keep reading, keep dreaming, and keep making the world a better place, one page at a time. I'll be looking for you in the next episode of Reading with Your Kids.
out.